Hey, what's up? How you doing, everyone? It's James here at SwitchWatch, your home for everything Nintendo Switch related. I'm back today with another review, and this one is Nights of Azure 2, Bride of the New Moon. This one was developed by Gus Games and has been published by Koei Tecmo. The guys gave us a copy for review purposes, so thank you very much for that. Let's not waste any time. Is this one worth your hard-earned cash? Let's jump in and find out. The dreaded Moon Queen has returned and demons roam, causing terror at night. You are Alush, a Knight of the Curia, the organisation that exists to stop the Moon Queen taking over the world and thrusting it into perpetual night. After the Demon Lord was stopped some time before this game, his blue blood came into contact with people, animals and objects, turning them into demons. Your first task is to escort your childhood friend Liliana, a priest of the Curia, to their headquarters, and after a short trip you arrive. Once there, it turns out she is the Moon Bride, the one destined to be sacrificed in order to lock away the Moon Queen. The plan doesn't quite pan out. She is kidnapped by the Moon Queen and you are killed. Luckily for you though, you are revived as a half demon and the story begins. You and another of your childhood friends, Runehide, set about trying to save Liliana and are drawn into a tale that unfolds with some hidden twists and turns. The story is revealed over the course of the game through fulfilling main quests, with additional backstory being revealed during side quests. The story is quite predictable, as you might expect from a Musu style game, though the Japanese voice acting seems rather good and the tale that unfolds is engaging in a passive sort of way. Where the story does lack is in some of its interactions between the lead characters. Alush is joined over time by 7 other female characters known as Lilies, and her interactions with them follow the Yuri style, which translates to Lily and is known for its female love stories and mild lesbian interactions. While some manga and other games turn this into something engrossing, Alush seems to be shyly flirting with each character, and the story feels forced into situations that lead to these type of scenes on purpose, such as swimming in basically no clothes and bumping into each other's breasts first. Whilst these interactions feel like they will lead to a love engagement, they never do, and you don't learn a whole lot in these interactions as they don't delve much deeper than those surface interactions and effectively mild titillation. The soundtrack here is pleasing on the ears. The main theme song is repeated throughout quite a large number of areas and can become a little repetitive, but the song itself is, in my opinion, quite good. When heading into different areas, there are some additional background songs that suit the locations, and the sound effects are gratifying when slashing away. The characters are drawn really well, and each Lily as well as the servants and Alush herself have a unique look. The mobs, whilst not hugely varied, are interesting and follow the theme of demons well, ranging from raging beasts to sirens and imps. Movement lets the characters down. The way the mobs and your characters move around lacks finesse, and the maps have a very noticeable restriction around them. Areas that you would expect to be able to walk over or interact with are simply off limits. The bosses are big and flashy and feel like they have had more time spent in development than the general mobs do. One of the issues for me visually is the similarity of dark shades everywhere due to the everlasting night that has descended on the city. It makes the game feel quite drab. Performance wise, the game had no issues on a TV, but I was surprised to see some performance dips on the go. When you consider we know the console can handle much more arduous tasks such as Super Mario Odyssey or Doom, this seems more like an issue of the porting and coding for the system by the developer. At its core, Nights of Azure 2 is a hack and slash Musu or Dynasty Warriors game with JRPG elements such as levelling up spells and a party system. You control Alush and have access to heavy and light attacks, which you can string together to generate combos that get into the hundreds in order to slay mobs in a mapped area. You're joined by a Lily, effectively a second character that you can set a broad task to using the D-pad, such as protect you, attack freely, or attack the same enemy that you've selected by using the right analog stick to target. By slashing together, you get to perform a combo attack and each Lily has a different skill. Some are long range attacks, others get up close to the action, and others are more supporting. Once you charge up a secondary bar by working together, you get an even more devastating combo that can slay most enemies outright. In addition to a Lily, you also get joined by 2 Servants, which are demons that are not mindless and are not quite evil. These pet-like companions fight alongside you and have a skill that can be triggered with a push of ZL or ZR. The Servants are a cool addition to the game, and some of them have use outside of battle by unlocking areas using their abilities, such as fire to burn through a thorny bush blocking your path. As you progress, you will gain blue demon blood that you can purify to stop you turning full zombie style demon and use to level you up. For some reason, this process involves wearing a very skimpy outfit. This process unlocks points which are then used to develop your skill tree. The system is quite basic, with skills such as increasing attack power with certain weapon types and increasing gold rate drops. Gold can be used to buy equipment, and later on you can combine items to strengthen them further. Your Lilies can also wear equipment and become stronger as they level up. The Servants can also level up and can even evolve to become stronger versions of themselves. Whilst all of this detail is great, none of it felt particularly necessary and ultimately doesn't affect combat, which comes down to hack and slash, with the exception of bosses, which require some more tactical play. All of these actions and upgrades are dealt with at the hotel, which becomes your base of operations. From here, you set out each night on a mission, moving to a map which you can explore and delve further into to reach portals that act as checkpoints, helping you get into an area faster and fast travel around the map. To keep things moving along and add an element of thrill to the game, there are 2 time limits on your heals. The first is that you can only stay outside on a mission for a certain amount of time. That starts out at 10 minutes. As you level up and get stronger, this time limit is increased, letting you get further in a map. The system makes you plan out each day, though it doesn't often get in the way of completing a mission. The second is a lunar style time limit. Each night passed reduces the Azure moon phase by a sliver, and if you ever reach full coverage, the game is over and perpetual night would take over the world. Slaying a boss or progressing the story a certain amount will recoup some portion of the moon, buying you more time. The system does work quite well and forces you to progress the story at a fair pace. Controls wise, the game performs fairly well, except for a few annoying camera angles at times. However, I did notice a really poor oversight by the developers that led to some frustration. Default actions on the Switch use A to progress, whereas a PS4 pad uses X, which is in the same position as B. I believe this is the reason that some actions progress with A on the Switch as a default and others use B. Whatever the cause, this simple issue leads to an annoying setup which could have been avoided quite easily. Unfortunately, you are often revisiting the same maps and slaying the same mobs. Quests can sort of go here and kill this. Very few variances are around, and most of the game pans out in this visit a map, slay some stuff, go to sleep, level up and do it again pattern, which does lose its charm fairly quickly. The game does offer a chunky campaign, and with a new Game Plus mode, you could potentially put in 40 plus hours here. There are a lot of Servants, and you can spend a lot of time with each Lily to increase your affinity with them, unlocking additional story and costumes which serve as fan service. There is, however, a lot of repetition, and at full retail cost of £42 in the UK or $59.99 in the US, it is hard to justify the spend for any outside of those who really love this style of game. Overall, for me, this game has some positives, and it's a niche game that for some people is going to be a blast. For your average gamer though, it's a tough ask to fork out full retail pricing, especially with some issues and repetitive play. Overall then, this one's a respectable 5.5 out of 10. A massive shout out to all of our subscribers who really appreciate you sticking with us. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and you might want to check out our full written review over at our website. If you want to pick up a game, there's a link down below. And for those of you who are here for the first time, thanks for joining. We hope you like this one. We'd love to hear your comments, and we'd love to have you on board as a subscriber if you want to stay up to date with everything Nintendo Switch related. I'm James Amaro. This is SwitchWatch. See you again soon.